Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Daily Action Picks. My name is Joe Dellera, and I've got some of my best bets for today's NBA slate. So let's break it down. We're going to be looking at the 76ers versus the Raptors in Game 2 of this first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. Look, the Raptors are dealing with some significant injuries here, and even though the Sixers put down a commanding Game 1 win with a 20-point victory, 131 to 111, the Raptors are in some tough shape right now. Scottie Barnes suffered a gruesome injury. I'm surprised it's not worse than it was. It looked pretty painful, and he's listed as doubtful for today, but I would be surprised if he plays today considering the severity of that injury, or at least the way that it looked. And he's got a sprained ankle after Joel Embiid stepped on his foot, inadvertently, obviously. But they're also missing Gary Trent Jr., or likely to be missing him. He's listed as doubtful due to illness, and Thaddeus Young is also listed as doubtful due to a thumb injury. So you're down some pretty significant minutes. Scottie Barnes played the 9th most minutes in the league, and Gary Trent Jr. played the 14th most on the season. Barnes was averaging 35.4 minutes a game. Trent was averaging 35. Young was averaging 18.3. That's a lot of time to be missing. When you already had a thin rotation, you were a bit outgunned in this series anyway. I'm sure Nick Nurse can navigate this to some degree, but I think it's going to be very, very difficult for them, and it's going to really affect their positional versatility without having Scottie Barnes, who could really play every position. He was a good facilitator, and I don't like how this shapes up for the Raptors against this 76ers team that looked fantastic. James Harden has completely unlocked this team. He had 14 assists in Game 1, and the Sixers were shooting like over 80% almost on his assists, or on his assist opportunities rather. So the Sixers look great. And one of the things that's notable here is, Tyrese Maxey scored 38 points in Game 1. And it's really going to be interesting to see how Nick Nurse and the Raptors decide they want to try to contain him, because you just can't have somebody going off for 38 points every game, especially when it's not something that you might expect. Like if it was Joel Embiid, sure, we expect it, but not when it's in this situation, not when it's Tyrese Maxey. So the thing is, though, Joel Embiid made his presence known in Game 1. And although he didn't put up a ton of points, he only scored 19, he still had 15 boards, and he was a menace defensively. And one of the things that was most notable was they didn't use him to completely shadow Pascal Siakam the entire game. He wound up being a primary defender a lot, or coming on and help defense. But now without Barnes, I could see Embiid taking on a larger responsibility on the defensive end, like just straight up trying to shut down Siakam. So I'm a little cold on Siakam's point total, and I'll get back to that in a minute. But with Barnes out, this is the way that I think they might try to utilize Embiid. And additionally, if Maxey and Harris are going to keep playing like this, because Harris was even calling for the ball, this is a great spot, and you can really distribute the offensive load amongst those core four on the Philadelphia 76ers. And I like them to come away with this game. They each played 37 plus minutes, and this is a good spot. The Raptors are down, they're damaged here. And look, it's not necessarily a must-win game, but they do need the game, before heading back to Toronto. But either way, you don't bet on teams in must-win opportunities. So I'm going to be taking the 76ers -7 in this game, and I expect them to go up 2-0. But now back to the thing I was talking about with Embiid. I think that Embiid might play a little bit more man-up defense on Pascal Siakam today, given the Raptors' injuries here. So what I do like is I like for Pascal Siakam to use himself as more of a facilitator. He's played 5 games without Scottie Barnes this season, and he recorded 8, 7, 7, 10, and 12 assists in all of those games, and his assist prop is set at just 5.5 today. I like him to go over his 5.5 assist line without Scottie Barnes in the lineup. Additionally, to couple with that, OG Anunoby has played 4 games without Scottie, but also with Pascal Siakam, and he has smoked his points total. His points total is set at 16.5 today, and he scored 26, 25, 24, and 24. In my mind, I think that they're going to key in on Pascal, and they're going to try to limit him, so that should open up some more opportunities for OG Anunoby to score. I like Fred VanVleet, but I prefer OG in this particular matchup, given where his point total lies. So those are my 3 best bets for today's Philadelphia 76ers versus Toronto Raptors game. I like the Sixers to take a commanding lead here. Let me know if you're riding. Let me know if you're following. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up in the comments, all at Joe Dellera. And tune in every day for more free daily action picks.